as I'm taking my arm out, so I don't have to extend it that way, I put a lot more strength into the weapon coming in here, and it's harder for him to move it because it's got this in the way instead of this.
Right. So, looking at the other side, here, it's literally, I tend to do an upward carry on this, but this is going to depend on what feels comfortable to you, because this is kind of an odd position, but it's a very common shot. If he doesn't have a dagger. If you're fighting open-handed, the thrust here. And his defense will look something like that. Go ahead and do the circle around. Or it could be that. If it's that one, he is going to be counting on your offense coming around to here. And remember, you know that 90% defense, there's a 90% offense too. For every position, go ahead and thrust at me. What's the likely shot that I'm going to throw? The 90% shot.
You're going to go into third and come inside.
It's just what people throw. And all of my offense and defense is 100% geared around the 90 percentile and coaxing people into that, so that when they're in the 10 percentile, I'm limiting their options. If I put Yngwie defensively, if I put him here, he just doesn't have a lot of options open hand. There's just not a lot he can do. His best option is probably to draw cut my leg. Here, but that's where I would, and I understand that not everybody can do that. So I'm not trying to show what's possible. What I'm trying to show you is how to survive those initial engagements. So, given this, okay, let's look at a combination. So if I come in, I thrust, and I come in, what you've got to do is look at what is the most likely combination for somebody to thrust.
Yeah.
And it's going to depend on how much you get the blade. If I thrust and anybody gets a lot of my blade, my second shot options change. For somebody like me, the way I fight is I'll tend to throw a shot with the full intent of getting anybody to go, I have got him here, only to realize he doesn't have me anywhere. He's got to deal with an unknown now. So what I'm trying to do is, remember that 10 percentile? I'll throw a position that he thinks he's got defensively, and he realizes in the middle of it, I don't have anything, and I don't have any idea where the second shot's coming. So all of this is centered around if you set up these defenses so that you can control the situation, you can limit the options on the second shot. With Yngwie, if Yngwie starts to thrust at me, a lot of times I'll just sit here. Now, I'm not going to do this all tournament because it's just annoying. But if he's throwing something that particularly catches me off guard, I'll just foul his blade, because if I foul it down far enough, I can take him offline. If I foul him to this side, it really lowers his percentage. However, if I foul him this way, it doesn't do anything. If you foul to the backhand side, it's just going into the string. So it's literally going to be just a roll out.
Yeah.
And notice how I roll. Now, Yngwie, I don't think does this, but when I roll, it's got a circle on it. So it's like this. There's no. Yngwie tends to find a little bit more, I believe, a little bit more. What I would.
Defensively, I tend to be more linear.
A little bit more traditional fencing is what I tend to call it.
They're not, absolutely not correct by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, they just boom, boom, traditional fencing pairs.
So mine is geared around continuous energy. So, and this is what I think lends itself to fighters who don't have good stamina. Why you can last so much longer, because if I'm doing this, that took X amount of energy. It's just continuous motion, so there's no real additional input to keep it going. It's just the energy to redirect it. This literally takes the energy to start it, energy to stop it, energy to restart it, and energy to stop it again. And here's the problem that you'll run into. If Yngwie throws and I over parry, this is what will happen. Versus if you do this, you can just redirect that energy into another parry.
You're already basically planning to come back across, even if you overcook that parry.
Yeah. Now, Yngwie is very precise and very tight, so he doesn't tend to overbake them. But if you get in a position where they scare you again, and you go to defend, and you go like this, and let's just say that Yngwie does a staggered shot, boom, and you're just open. Versus if you're here and he staggers it,
If you're in position to respond to the secondary move.
Yeah.